Hi, welcome everyone. It's Mike Newton down here at Lytham Golf Academy, and it's swing tip time, and I'm going to really try and help you guys out who are thinning their irons. So if you're catching that ball very thin, very much in that bottom groove with your irons, then stay tuned, watch this video and we're going to help you out. Okay, so there's a number of reasons as to probably why you can thin that golf ball with these irons, but probably one of the most common ones and the simplest ones I always find through my coaching sessions really comes from setup and how you position your weight and your pressure in your feet into the ground as you start the golf swing. So when we get into that setup position, ideally what we want to be doing here is getting that hinge from the hips. Feels like you're sticking that bum out really, and trying to get that weight sort of positioning sort of like, I would say, like the middle to the balls of your feet. Okay, and probably the best way to sort of describe that is a little bit like a goalkeeper in football. So if that goalkeeper's ready to save that penalty, he's in that balanced position, that sort of athletic position there, because he doesn't know where that ball's going left or right. So he needs to react quickly, and this is the best way of levering off this sort of ground. Now, what I find with a lot of golfers I coach here who are struggling maybe with strike and controlling that low point through the swing is a poor setup or poor weight distribution in that setup. So many golfers will sit there and maybe then just sort of sit back sort of down into the heels, and it's a little bit like I need to go and grab a chair, put it behind them and let them sit in it. Okay, it's like they're ready to sit down in the chair. So all that weight goes back into that heels, but sometimes for a golfer that feels secure, it feels grounded. And yeah, they are grounded, but in a way they're too grounded. And obviously that is going to really restrict how you rotate and get the body to work through that golf swing. So as the golfer would sit down and back, as you can appreciate, they're going to move away from that golf ball. Okay, so this length of club is what it is, you know, whatever length or whatever club you're using, the golf course, I'll get that words out, is the length that it is. So we can't change that length through the actual swing. So if we start in that position, the club's on the ground there, but the weight's sort of sitting back, we're going to have to compensate somewhere, and it's flexing the knees. But really what happens through that swing is as we make that backswing, you're probably going to go more back in the heels as you turn that right hip behind you. You make your shoulder turn. I can feel loads of pressure in this back right heel now, and that's a very difficult position there to then push off, use that ground to then get rotating back through that golf shot into impact. So as you're in that position there and the weight's really right in the back of that right heel, so hard to get back to that golf ball, that's going to pull that low point higher. So as you come down, you physically can't get to the bottom of that golf ball, and more often than not, you're going to hit thins or even possibly tops as a worst case scenario. Okay, so if you are struggling with those thin shots, next time you're at the range, get into your setup position, get yourself sort of comfortable as you would normally do to that golf ball, and then just put a little bit of thought as into the pressure and which part of those feet are you feeling more pressure? Is it the fronts? Is it the middles? Is it too much in the toes possibly? Or is it in the heels, which is a killer? And I would say if you're hitting a lot of thin shots, as I say, there is other aspects that can create you to hit thin shots, but if you're hitting a lot of thins, first protocol I would say is look at that weight pressure in your feet. If it's very much in the heels, I would say that's one of the biggest contributions for you thinning those shots. So hopefully that little tip there I've given you with that weight distribution at the start of the golf swing and that setup should help you massively and reduce your thin shots out on that golf course. Obviously take this to the range to start with, have a little feel of that, have a little work on that, see how that changes it, and then obviously build that confidence and then to take that to the golf course. Hopefully you found this video interesting. Hopefully it's going to help you out. If you want any more sort of swing tips and specific to you, then fire a comment down below. Let me know what you're struggling with, and hopefully I'll get a chance to try and do that video for you, help you out. Or if you want a little bit more in-depth swing analysis of yourself and give some drills specific to you, then I obviously offer online lessons, which I'll put a little link in the description down below. You can go and look at the information for that and maybe possibly hook up with an online lesson with myself. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Hit that subscribe button and hopefully catch up with you all very soon.